he also is going to have the last word on what he's playing, and he returns to the cannon that has not found the team success.
That much more pressure on Untara. I mean, already has to go up against this veteran, former top laner for SKT, but also needs to try to be able to match him with TPs while playing Gnar.
Untara's played the postseason before, but you'll remember that was a relegation postseason for CJ Entus, where he certainly did not look impressive, and Kramer was his teammate at the time, so a bit of a CJ connection there. Different season. Both of them are going to want to forget their 2016s.
Chọn cho Bang là cốc mò. Y chang như thế này luôn. Cũng là một vị tướng rất là thụ động, không phải nói là quá thụ động, mà vị tướng cần phải giữ vị trí tốt, cần phải có nhiều thời gian. Và đây là một lối khởi đầu rất thú vị nha của Rammer.
Là một con sói.
Anh có ăn một con sói.
Nhưng mà cái quan trọng mà tôi đang muốn nhấn mạnh đó là cái lối lên đồ của Rammer trong đoạn đấu này nó rất là dị so với một xạ thủ, đúng không? Anh ta lên cho mình đó là một cái viên cổ vật dành cho Trick để gia tăng khả năng hồi phục của đường dưới dành cho hỗ trợ của mình, bởi vì Trana là mẫu tướng có thể tạo kiên.
Spirit's path thing will be very interesting to track. We always talk about Spirit when Afreeca are playing Gnar, because there's been so many times where there's been the unfortunate situation where Marin, for one reason or another, has been laning against double buffs as Gnar, or having other issues against Gnar, having to lane swap because Tucson and Kramer got pounded too much in the 2v2. It's been unfortunate when they've been playing the Gnar. This time they're against Gnar, and we understand exactly how Gnar lanes go. If he's able to just play to his own devices and not get ganked, he is a very powerful laner. But that if has been exploited time and time again after QV made such a triumphant re-debut of the Gnar.
Look at this very aggressive roam down.
It's not spotted either.
Yeah, Kuro's going to be joining in there right up underneath the turret. This could be very bad for SKT. Bang level 2.
There's Envision now.
Have the leap. That's going to be the flash in for the exhaust thrown down onto Wolf. Bang firing away, trying to get onto Kuro. Seems like Wolf's just going to go ahead and surrenders his life as Kuro scoops up the first blood.
That's a really great roam from Kuro, roaming as a flash cleanse Orianna at level 3. We said, okay, not going to be any bot lane visits because you don't want to just gank as Jarvan, but bringing in the Orianna meant there was never going to be a turnaround even attempted by SKT, and you know that a team has accepted their fate where a 4-man gank comes in and neither of the bot lane uses any summoners because it wasn't worth it. One person was going to die, and they elected it to be the Lulu.
Yeah. Just a bit too far forward. Tucson chose him with the exhaust. So
we should mention something here. Kramer's running Relic Shield Twitch.
You are correct.
So the theory here is that we're seeing gold seals be run by Tucson, gold quints, and actually the last hits from Kramer will also pass gold over to the Janna. So what the reasoning is here is you want to rush. It's been unfortunate when they've been playing the Gnar. This time they're against as fast as possible. We understand exactly how Gnar lanes go. If he's able to just play to his own devices and not get ganked, he is a very powerful laner. But that if has
interesting.
Not been seen by me at least in competitive play, but the GP10 build is super fast here. Tucson's already upgraded. He's not in a rush for his Sightstone, let me tell you.
All right, well, bit of innovation coming through here. Kramer picks this one up. I mean, you know, Bang was the one for the longest time that was kind of setting the trend for the AD carries, the Ninja Tabi, bringing that out. But now it's going to be Kramer to try something a bit different.
This hasn't been seen since Relic Shield was released, and you remember was very powerful on release. So pre-season, a lot of bot lanes were going double Relic Shield, upgrading to Targons, and abusing that. Those days are gone, but with how powerful as a one-item spike Ardent Sensor is on Janna, it really does feel good as Twitch. You're basically a god the moment that item is completed. Kramer is extra investing. This is...
come and fly away with me. Don't you be afraid, everything will change. You and I, jumping off the edge. They say dreamers never die, so come and fly, come and fly, come and fly away with me. We're rising, we're falling, we're making through. We're climbing, we're soaring, 1,000 views. Somewhere by the Emerald Sea, where the moon and water meet, somewhere close to harmony, when the world is sound asleep. Something's gonna bring the change, journeys we are meant to take. Something at the edge of space, calling us to
Because they're doing it in a best of 3, because if they win it,
don't you be afraid, everything will change. You and I, jumping off the edge. They say dreamers never die, so come and fly, come and fly, come and fly away with me. We're rising, we're falling, we're making through. We're climbing, we're soaring, 1,000 views. Something's gonna bring the change, journeys we are meant to take. Something at the edge of space, calling us to fly away.
but you can take a step back and consider that Afreeca have basically gone all in on scaling. You know, you look at the comp and you're like, okay, they're playing for the late game, but this is really a white flag when you're going GP10 runes, GP10 build, even the AD carry getting on the GP10 train to help out his support. This is such a Janna-focused strategy to get her to Ardent Sensor. And SKT already had the Galio, they already had the early playmaking, and if they can't make those plays work, Afreeca's basically getting away with a highway robbery. The gold lead's already 1,000 for Janna.
So far ahead. You can see that Kramer, though, he is suffering quite a bit. Not so much in the gold department, but in the CS. So it is creating that difference and that advantage for Bang, as they also are working towards this first brick here in the bottom lane. A couple more of those explosive charges, and we will be saying goodbye to that turret.
It's really overextended here.
Looking for the gank. Faker, not going to land the taunt.
It's flash and cleanse up for Kuros. That's why it looked a bit half-hearted, because they realized no real chance of picking things up without Peanut's flash to bounce the Orianna in. We'll just back away. SKT want to try and get this turret pre-15 minutes in bot lane, but Janna can just use the shield off cooldown to artificially keep the turret HP up. And for now, every extra minute they get to lane with all this GP10, Afreeca are happy.
We are a couple more inches closer to Koro. Maybe we would have seen something like the flash being blown. It's the advantage that SKT wanted to open up in the mid lane, but they do miss out on that.
And the small timer here is basically, can SKT take down the bot lane turret before Ardent Sensor is complete on Janna? Because when Ardent Sensor is complete, they'll be able to counter push, but bot lane,
he's looking for the kill. Oh, that's going to be the heal coming out, as well as the Monsoon. As Tusa tries to keep him alive. Peanut wraps around from the back, but will not be able to find the rat, but they should be able to get this turret if they push this wave in.
Yeah, it seemed like Janna, even if that hadn't been successful a trade, wouldn't have been able to get a shop in to actually pick up the Ardent Sensor, even though the gold is probably there already. SKT going to return to the turret. Afreeca being pretty greedy, sticking around, but Peanut's already in his own friendly red side jungle.
They will knock down the shield, and that's going to be the turret going over to the side of SKT. One final shield just to really mess with them. There we go. A couple more shots from the minions alone will take this down. It's like the most frustrating thing. But there we go. First brick over to SK Telecom. Will open them up a bit of a lead, just 500 gold or so, separating them from Afreeca at the moment. So this is still neck and neck.
Watching Peanut invade onto Spirit.
Goes in. Both of them have the smite available, and the mid laners are nearby to try to contest this one. It's in vision for both sides. Down to 1200, but the smite will be there for Spirit.
The way I kind of look at this, the way I think anyone can understand, is that Afreeca basically had the world's best interest rate for 12 minutes. When they were laning in a short lane with GP10, that was just the sort of thing if you saw it in real life, you'd get all your savings and throw it into the bank because you're getting such great interest, because it's so safe in a short lane 2v2 while making all that gold. Now the turret's down, but Ardent Sensor is complete. Finding safe lanes for the Twitch to farm's not going to be trivial. He's rushed Hurricane, so he has no lane control. And SKT have a big skirmishing advantage. So if they choose the right fights, they still can pull things off here. And Peanut doesn't pick up the blue buff
yeah,
still.
So very close, but will be Kuro walking away with that one. So far, invasions onto the buffs not working out here for the side of SK Telecom. They have opened up the bottom side of the map quite a bit there with that turret being taken. Zentara has been whittling away at the top side of the map, but so far haven't seen any priority or any attention paid around the Dragon or the Rift Herald as of yet.
And kind of the frustration for SKT is that with all this discussion of the bot lane, the laners are in the mid and top are about as safe as can be. Orianna is a farm lane against anyone. Kennen is one of the most powerful top laners with the ranged auto attack. Even if you're going AP Kennen, you won't have the same harass potential, but you're not going to lose CS to a Gnar either. Mentioned already, there's no control on the bot side, so the Cloud Drake going to be a donation. My Afreeca Freak's over, but not going to lose any sleep over that.
No, we'll just take this, but we'll see what we get next. It's going to be an Infernal Drake, so that's going to be one that Afreeca has to be concerned about.
That's something where Jarvan and Janna will have to play around the bot side and put down control wards to actually allow it to be contested as the game goes on. Hurricane complete, like we mentioned already, for Kramer. Going to be focused on basically the on-hit magic damage from the Janna for the early phase, but almost certainly will be Infinity Edge as the second completion.
Speaking of which, Bang's got his ready to go.
First item, Infinity Edge on Tristana. Usually we see BF Sword into Static
Zeal.
Shiv.
Yeah.
Zeal into Static Shiv as the first item there. Gives more pushing, which can be relevant, but I guess you're not going to be winning the push war against a rushed Hurricane on the Twitch, so just goes for Infinity Edge. The crits work for him certainly can be big. Watching top side, Marin does spot out Peanut. Will have to give up his turret.
Yeah, we'll just lose out onto that one. Meantime, Kramer tries to walk up to get a couple hits in, but with that Infinity Edge in the inventory for the Tristana, can't really try to take those trades. So it does have to go ahead and peel back. In the meantime, some attention being paid into the mid lane. On to Faker's turn. It's knocked down to about half. Taunt will land right as Spirit does get the flag and drag out, so he'll stay safe. Buster shot used as Kramer gets popped back. Bang. Not looking for the fight quite yet.
Already showing respect also. The Ardent Sensor and Hurricane complete. No critical damage on the on-hit magic damage coming out from the Janna Ardent Sensor, but still going to be a lot of early damage. And when he pops the ultimate, has the AD steroid there as well. Tara's teleporting super deep. Remember, there's no turret in the bot side.
Yeah, it's going to be them trying to hightail it out of here. The Monsoon will buy them a little bit of time as they knock away Bang, but I think Tucson kind of wishes that he had held on to it now as Tara goes in, slowing up Kramer. Tucson's already going to be going down. One final shot from Bang, finds the kill, leaps in. Can't create the distance, but Kramer, he gets popped back, slammed into the wall, and Tara scoops up the second kill. 3-1 here for SK Telecom.
Yeah, the SKT fans roar as Peanut hits the picture-perfect flash cast. Needed to hit that to actually punish them and justify teleporting. A teleport for just a single kill on a Janna wouldn't be enough. They would have push up in the bot side, may even make a play around the mid side. Afreeca in full loss minimization mode. Marin electing not to teleport bot.
I mean, even if they only killed the Janna, that still wouldn't be the worst teleport that we've seen so far in this game. Faker going for the blue buff was a bit of a stretch, I'd have to say. But they do find the kills. They bring that lead even larger for themselves. This is exactly what SKT needs to do, so they can get ahead and close out this game before Afreeca hit critical mass with these hyper-scaling carries in the Orianna and the Twitch.
While I'll agree with you on one point, it's not necessarily as fast as they would have wanted, and reading exactly how much gold Afreeca actually needs when Ardent Sensor is thrown in, when it's AP Cannon, it's such a different amount of variables, because these are things we have not seen in the entirety of the summer season. SKT, as we know with these Galio comps, are going to try to take as many objectives early. But the actual gold break-even for Afreeca to be able to stand up and win team fights is a bit undefined, because so much has changed in just one patch and a couple of weeks for the Afreeca Freaks.
So far down, but not yet out. Around 1,000 gold here, but SKT, they want to add to that one. They take the Rift Herald, and very likely will be using that to shatter the turret in the mid lane, fully open up the map for themselves.
Not to be undone, Wolf be going for a much slower Ardent Sensor, you would imagine, with the items he's put together. Double GP10 items, well, the full GP10 item, I should say, already complete by Tucson as well, so finally we'll have that Eye of the Watchers available. SK Telecom, it's going to be all about those picture-perfect mid-game team fights that we've already said. KT and Longzhu certainly have been doing repeatedly in the last couple of weeks, but it's a different style from SK Telecom, who've really played around with identity ever since they went on that 8-game losing streak. They've played around with different styles. They can play the Rumble comps well, but this is something a little bit different because Afreeca threw all the curveballs. So excited to see how the next real team fight goes, because right now it's a bit up in the air.
Seemed like they were looking for one there in the mid lane, but instead we'll just go respond to the waves. Keep those pushed away from their base. SKT do start gathering up in the vicinity. Could summon the Rift Herald, as Peanut is there in mid.
Difficult to do so without a pick onto Orianna or Twitch. The wave clear is good. Even Cannon can help out a little bit. AP Cannon not quite 80 Cannon when it comes to ranged auto attacks, but helpful nonetheless. SKT's big advantage where the game is at and where the composition is at is they can face check basically any brush with Gragas, Gnar, and the Galio and contest vision. So putting down control wards, finding safe passages to the team fight that Afreeca is probably already ready to go to is a very difficult thing to do, and Bang just wants to try to DPS Orianna out of the mid lane and truly open up the map with a mid lane outer turret take.
Yeah, the likelihood of finding a kill is very slim, but if you can at least just chunk her out and force her back to base, then that could be the moment to go ahead and summon the Rift Herald, but still not going to be finding it. Has that refillable potion, still has one more charge ready to go.
And in playoffs, when that is such a big goal, something like blowing a refillable potion charge, which sounds trivial, you might snort at it, is relevant because the next time he's chunked out won't have the regen to not have to return to base. So it's a game of inches, inching forward our SKT, but they won't feel truly happy about the first 20 minutes until they break that outer mid lane turret.
I mean, honestly, I don't think they're going to feel truly happy until they break the Nexus. SKT, this has always been, you know, their struggle is the Afreeca Freaks. As Intara will get pinched and loses out on the Mega Gnar, but has the double hop away thanks to Wolf. Will slow them up, but Spirit cheats forward with the flag and drag, but says, you know what, don't want to pursue this blindly into their side of the jungle. Just looks to clear out the wards instead.
AP Cannon has always been about as powerful as a function of the wards that are available for the flanking teleport. Is a team fight champion compared to our year of 80 on-hit Cannon, where we didn't really think of those slicing maelstroms really having any threat. Because they haven't been able to put down wards, there really aren't good teleport wards for Marin. So the guarantees about taking a team fight are difficult, and SKT can't get the ideal setup. They get a pretty good one as they try to break this outer mid lane turret.
Yeah, they see that Spirit, Kramer, and Tucson were moved away from the tower. So they go ahead and summon that Rift Herald, get a bit of damage in from the initial charge, but that's going to be about it. We're finding too much else, but SKT could just go ahead and wrap down the river and try to take out this Infernal Drake.
Yeah, SKT happy to brawl. Even if it just distracted someone from auto-attacking the Rift Herald, it was more damage onto that mid lane turret. We see the teleport back. Probably going to be too late if he's going to teleport in to contest this Infernal. It's already super low.
Yeah, Faker trying to gatekeep as best as possible as the Infernal Drake does go down. TP being channeled by Marn as he tries to cut them off. Could be setting up for that 5-man slicing Maelstrom. Will get spotted out as Faker flashes away. Goes out the gusts, has to go up into the air with the hero's entrance just to try to get him out, but the shockwave pulls him back in alongside Peanut as they get chunked down. Seems like Afreeca might just be letting them scatter their way back in underneath the turret.
Yeah, Afreeca don't really have the ability to flash in and have explosive damage. Not a maximum damage build coming through from Marin. Doesn't have Zhonya's either to be a true initiator. The reason why this is fine is that they have inside track on both mid and top lane. They're going to try and at least take the mid lane turret. That was a creative teleport, I'd say, from Faker. Never going to work there.
He's had 2 of them so far.
If Kobe was here, we know what he'd say about that teleport.
It was wonderful.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, optimistic teleport ends up just being a true waste from Faker, who As you called before, 2 out of 2 teleports have been optimistic at best, and Afreeca take down the mid lane turret, continue to rein in the gold. They're 2 kills behind, they're a turret behind, but that GP tank can't be denied.
No, it cannot.
Well, now he's almost 2,000 gold ahead.
Yep.
That is literally disgusting. GP10 supports was what, Season 3? Early Season 3, maybe Season 2? Certainly. It's been so long. Felt like GP10 supports went out around the same time that Sightstone was introduced as an item. And this Janna is just getting ridiculously strong, ridiculously early.
I mean, Tucson is basically single-handedly making it look like Afreeca are very even in the fight. Martin's on the backside, however, will be flashing and slicing Maelstrom coming down, locking up too, as Bang and Wolf go low, but they will not be taken out. TP straight into the middle of the lane there from Untara, but didn't have any rage built up in his mini Gnar form, so has to go ahead and cancel that one out.
Drew Cannon's teleport, so another small win there for the side of Afreeca. It's such a weird game. The pace it's being played, seems like everyone is a bit perturbed about what's going on, and we will have a pause, so hopefully we'll get a little bit of information about whether it's at. Seems like it's on the SKT side of things.
Maybe it's Peanuts Mouse again.
We're hearing that there's a problem with Wolf,
yeah, Wolf
and then we do see the attendance coming in. Interesting game occurs. We're just commenting on the type of game. It's being played at such a weird pace because from the start, the script, it's almost like everything is different. Relic Shield, AD carry, such a focus on getting the GP10. Max started off the trend. You'll remember when he went Flash Heal Janna for MVP, when it was Flash Cleanse for, I believe, Zaya for Maha. And we went and did the examination. There was GP10 yellows and GP10 Quints as well. This is the further investment there. Ardent Center came in relatively early, just after the laning phase ended in the bot side. Afreeca will feel pretty good about losing the minimum, but SKT have certainly not missed their window yet. They are very strong. They still can take these team fights. And we think of Galio mid-comps as largely an early to mid-game comp, but with the introduction of the new Thornmail, with how tanky a frontliner can get, with items like Bramble Vest and also the Gargo's Stoneplate, you're never really over the hump, even if your Twitch is piling on the items.
I mean, Ardent Sensor completed the same time as the Hurricane for the Twitch that was farming up.
Hearing that Wolf is receiving a small, minor technical issue, so he's going to get out of game and back into game, so maybe some sort of graphical bug. We don't have any confirmation on that, but hopefully just a small thing.
We'll load him back in, see how things are. Hopefully we don't have to take any serious measures for this fix.
I mean, a remake would be a disaster for Afreeca because they did so many things that, you know, Coma is in the back wishing he had a quarterback that he could speak to over the headset and be like, this is what's happened, this is what we need to do, and we need to focus on the bot side, take advantage of everything. On the fly understanding, even for myself, having not seen this strategy, was an ongoing process, and the players, you know, it's such a different game. Who knows if they even scrimmed one time against this strategy?
Well, speaking of the game, seems like we got everything ready to go, so we will go ahead and jump back into this one. So just getting him out and then back into the game seems to have corrected whatever the problem was.
Afreeca playing side lanes with the Orianna. One of the small disadvantages of running the safe blind pick Orianna is that can easily be roamed on by both teleport and the hero's entrance. I don't know if those teleport timers are correct, Achilles, given that we just saw Untara teleport. So I'm going to guess that it might be bugged.
That might be.
Teleport and then cancel teleport in mid lane was not multiple minutes ago. But give us a moment. Bear with us, OGN Legion. There can be new hidden features when a new patch hits the tournament realm.
You know, it's all right. I like having you know, pasta for dinner every now and then.
Knight's Vow after the Runic Echo. So it was Runic Echo first and not Cinderhawk Gragas this game from Peanut, wanting to do a bit of bruising early, which, given the route Afreeca took in the bot side, isn't a surprise, but you would argue hasn't got perhaps as much value out of the early Runic Echo, and Cinderhawk does have that percentage scaling. Mid lane turret's been up a long time, but finally goes down for Afreeca.
Yeah, just going to go ahead, force that one out. I mean, that's the power of that Tristana. Not as rapid as they would have liked, but they still are the ones claiming these turrets. So far, Afreeca have only been able to knock down the one in the mid lane.
Cost of all of these bot lane shenanigans is that Kramer's pretty far behind in CS. In the bot lane, though.
They're going to commit the slicing Maelstrom to this one. Untara trying to kite back as best as he can, but the Twitch, he's going to be arriving now. Pops out, immediate flash away, but a flash forward comes through from Kramer, and he will take down the Gnar. Second kill on the board for the Afreeca Freaks.
2 flashes for 1, but relieving the pressure. The Nara now off the map. SKT going to make plays around the top side and try to get Baron vision for that. Should be a freebie in terms of objectives, even though SKT took that mid lane turret just a moment ago. That gold also goes to the Twitch, gets him the Infinity Edge, gets no value anymore out of the Relic Shield in his inventory. May sell it in just a few moments if he can complete a Zeal from it. Was never going to upgrade it because you can only go so far into helping out your support. Cannon's still bot lane, being greedy here, Marin. This is trademark Marin.
Yeah, that's going to be the flash forward, and Marin will go down. Bang, very easily scooping up that kill. So Marin, as you say, completely trademarked by him. Overextension, no vision whatsoever, and he gets paid. He has to pay for it.
Had a trinket ward he could have put down, but that wouldn't be Marin. Got to save it for a better spot. Had his teleport up. Thought he was fine playing bot side and didn't have to respect a Tristana giving up CS in a lane for ganking, but Bang does the team thing, slows down and answers the kill that came onto Gnar. We step back and reassess what has been a crazy first 26 minutes, where the game is still completely in the balance. Afreeca Freaks, remember, have never won a game. They have played now their 4th wildcard match, never winning a single game, and this is the most competitive they've ever been in those 7 games they've played.
Bang just getting even more damage down onto these turrets, but this time, tier 2, they're in the bottom lane. Not enough free time or, really any vision on that side of the map for him to try to take it, but still chunks it up considerably.
Into the vision line because of the grouping and with the turrets going down, it's finally being started by the side of Afreeca. They don't have the outer turrets, so control wards in the same area give them similar map presence. They can't give up solo tempo to the side of SKT, especially now that Bang has double Zeal item and Infinity Edge, can do massive damage to the Baron. They have 2 Drake stacks as well. See how reckless Kramer's going to get. He's feeling powerful, but used his flash to pick up the kill on the Gnar bot lane, so still doesn't want to face check any CC.
Surprise, neither team has really gone down into the river yet, where the Mountain Drake is getting ready to spawn in just 5 seconds. No vision control on either side. SKT, though, with the pushing waves in bot and mid, would be able to get down there swiftly and try to take out that objective. In the meantime, Bang leaps in, gets a little bit of damage down onto Kramer as he turns invisible. Explode for a little bit more, and Spirit almost falls. Also shot used by Bang, just popping Kramer back, and Faker's wrapping around from the backside, just as punching forward. Looking for the taunt, finds it as he flashes in on top of the Twitch, and he gets taken out. Peanut finds the kill.
Your lack of situational awareness there from Kramer in particular, walked up on the rest of the team, had noticed that Galio was coming around. So just the Twitch, the crown jewel of this comp goes down. They're going to lose something from this, and at minimum it will be the inner turret in mid.
Yep, tier 2 will get taken out very swiftly. You can see Tucson already preemptively throwing the shields in onto the inhib turret as he retreats back towards the fountain to try to get healed up. TP coming through. We'll be able to prevent that turret from going down. Speaker arrives in the top lane.
But watch the rest of SKT. They might try to cut off Mara, and he's going to teleport out. Realize he needs to be quick.
We'll just go ahead. It's out of dodge, but now SKT have that much more control over this map.
And now consider that because his only way out was teleport, they even get a teleport advantage out of this as well, as Untara will be able to play the side lane and Marin will not be able to answer. So all from Kramer, just not respecting that Galio was setting up for a turret dive. They lose the inner turret after losing the outer a few minutes ago. They also lose teleport advantage. SKT's ability to dogpile in with this comp that is a team fight, mid-game focus comp, is basically unanswerable for Afreeca until they get the teleports back in the game.
Well, they will be starting up the Mountain Drake, so at least taking one of those away from SKT, preventing triple stack Elder Dragon. A bit later into the game, we will have one final standard, as it will be another Mountain Drake coming in.
Marin's trying to fight back on this side. There's really risky stuff from him.
Oh my god, look at the damage he's taking. The crit's coming through. Peanut will body slam over the wall, slows him up as that explosion comes through from the charge. He will get the stun off. Marin desperately tries to retreat, and you can see just how much damage Tucson takes as well, but looks like they will be able to make it out of here with their lives.
Bang didn't want to go Rambo and use any summoners, had both available, may have been able to clean up a kill, but wasn't happy with a maybe. Maybe the guarantee is the Baron Achilles. They turn onto it. It's going to be difficult for Afreeca to even sneak vision in.
I mean, no flash, no TP. Marin's going to have to sprint his way back with the Lightning Rush, and even then getting into the pit for the Slicing Maelstrom is going to be very difficult, but for now, SKT just have to be worried about gatekeeping. Keep Spirit out of this
They're going to try and randomly DPS down.
Oh, Buster shot, but it lands on the Tucson. The spike comes through, but it's not going to be the steal there for Spirit, and now he's going to get taken out. Polymorph immediately just ropes him into his own Cataclysm, and Bang can easily scoop up the kill.
Yeah, pretty big risk there from SKT. They didn't have a control ward on the pit. Because of that, they randomly waited, and then DPS down at 2,000. Jarvan got in. Spirit could have actually stolen away what the game would have looked like if he was able to do that. We'll never know. But SKT actually do continue to snowball their 25 to 30 minute phase where they piled on objectives, and the Baron is a massive one, as even though Afreeca's wave clear is good, the turret dive threat is now real from the side of SKT.
Yeah, they're already making use of this Baron buff Untara. There's just nothing Marin can do. He's already so low, and Untara's getting ready to transform, so that means that the turret will just be taken for free there by SK Telecom. 5-1 in that regard, as they start creating a more significant gold lead. 30 minutes in, 4.6 thousand. But they're looking to accelerate that pace even further as the final outer turret goes down.
So many things are pretty indefensible already for Afreeca. They can't fight as 5. The Twitch, the comp is built around us in the top side, and that means that Bang has really not a care in the world to walk up and DPS down these inhibitor targets.
See how much damage that one in the bottom lane has already taken as Untara continues the split push. Marin gonna try to answer, but again, this is the AP cannon build. This is not the Hurricane on a hit, so he can't clear out the waves with his auto attack. So it's just that much more desperation here for Afreeca. We'll knock down that first inhib turret, looking for a second one as Bang goes over down to the bottom side. And Afreeca, they're just scrambling back and forth to desperately try to hold on to these remaining structures. But it's a battle that they are certainly not winning. Very much like this one here for Marin as he goes low, slicing Maelstrom. Picking up dangerously. Just keep him alive for the moment as he finds the stun on Untara, who goes dangerously low, but doesn't even feel the need to force out the flash, so he's able to go ahead and limp away.
Teleport back in to confirm this first inhibitor of the game as well, Achilleos.
Yeah, they will go ahead and they want to take this one out. TP completed by Untara, goes straight back over to the top side to clear this out, and honestly, this could just be the slow strangulation of Afreeca as they take all of the inhibitors in the base and maybe just end it.
Afreeca held the line for so long well, but SKT with one invitation from Kramer's overstay. That one mistake has led to the passage of play where they now have multiple inhibitors down. And even though the synergy is queued, even though the gold lead for the support will never be answered, they may just lose the game because right now there's nothing in their base to defend, and SKT have full control of the map.
All 3 inhibitors taken in one fell swoop. Looked like they were gonna go for the finish there, but with 5 members of Afreeca alive, they do have to at least respect them. They do peel back, but 6-2, 32.5 minutes into this one. Hasn't been a very bloody game, a couple skirmishes here and there. But SKT, they have found the pace that they wanted from the start. It took a little while to get there, but now all of the structures, aside from the Nexus turrets and the Nexus itself, have fallen for the Afreeca Freaks.
You just wonder, was this the one strategy that Afreeca really polished and were able to sneak in? SKT certainly didn't seem practiced against it. There clearly was no sharing of information, given that there were very specific things you need to do to answer this. But when they were able to adapt over time, they turned it on. Such a massive lead in the last 8 minutes since that Twitch overextension. And now, even with all the synergies, it feels like SKT can just macro the end of the game, maybe even without a fight.
No, honestly, I feel like this is one shockwave from Kuro this entire game. In a position to really win the big one. And at this point, I'm not sure if, even if he did, if it would be enough to actually kill the members of SKT. Are very tanky. Shockwave will come down. Bang still alive for the moment. Uses the flash and keeps himself up. Finds the first kills and gets rid of Goro. And Tucson has gone down as well. Follows up for the double. Making the triple. Can he get the quadra? He says, oh, you know what? I don't give a damn, Spirit. You go ahead, wander off. I'm killing your Nexus. SKT up in game 1 over the Afreeca Freaks.
A perfect ace. The most creative strategy I've casted in a jungle game many years ago, Achilleos. They tried to roll the dice, different things, but when it came unglued, like a lot of these more cheese strategies, it came really unglued. SKT, the moment they got those turrets in mid, the game ended maybe 5 minutes later. So they're going to feel confident, even though they'll wonder and look back at what was a very interesting game of business. I wonder if any other team will try to recreate what Afreeca was going to do. Full credit as information. Credit they built for the early to mid game. They got one advantage from a mistake from Kramer. They snowballed from there, and they looked KT and Longshot-esque doing it. Comfortable victory in the end.
Go ahead and replay this once. Pull and in onto Bang. Has a guardian.
Layering. Peanuts 2 casks were just unbelievable. Even though Marin comes looking at Tuesday days with Samsung Galaxy and advancing in the pool.
It'll be a whole lot of time for them to prepare, but it's better than not being in the gauntlet at all. SKT one game away. Freaks now need to bounce back. This was them on the red side, which has been very weak for them as opposed to SK Telecom, who have nearly a 50-50 record on blue or red. Very close wins on either side. Afreeca, this could be their chance to bounce back.
Both teams have had their super plays. Afreeca's game ones, SKT's undefeated streaks, all of those are gone. Now it's just on the roaches.
Let's see what they can piece together. Already has everybody sat down for the game. They're feeling pretty darn good about that one. Maybe educating Faker on how to properly use his teleport, perhaps. But aside from that, should be a very lighthearted environment there for SK Telecom at the moment. That's game one out of the way. We'll see.
Yes, good sir.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. "30 seconds until minions spawn."
Anyone for a spot of tea?
We must attend to other matters.
Oh, bother.
Minions have spawned.
Anything less would be uncivilized. Let us fight like gentlemen. What? Pip pip, cheerio. I'll bite your legs off.
First blood.
Let us fight like gentlemen.
An
One
ally
can
has
survive
been
everything
slain.
nowadays, except death. Anything less would be uncivilized. Pip pip, cheerio. Anyone for a spot of tea? Oh, bother. What?
An enemy has been slain.
Yes, good sir. Cheeky little fellow.
ally has been slain.
Let us fight like gentlemen.
An ally has been slain.
I challenge you to a duel. Yes, good sir.
An ally has been slain.
What? Anyone for a spot of tea? Pip pip, cheerio. Quiet! Anything less would be uncivilized.
An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
I like a man who grins when he fights. Oh, bother.
An enemy has been slain.
What? Quiet! Anything less would be uncivilized. Up you go! Quiet! Oh, bother. Pip pip, cheerio. Anyone for a spot of tea?
Lucky.
Yes, good sir. Let us fight like gentlemen. Up you go. Anyone for a spot of tea? Forward! You, sir, are a coward and a ruffian. What? Aha! Yes, good sir.
Shut down.
Aha! Oh, bother. You go.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Aha!
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
One can survive everything nowadays, except death.
An ally has been slain.
I like a man who grits. Let us fight like
An enemy has been slain.
you go. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Enemy rampage. An ally has been slain. Shut down. An ally has been slain.
Anything less would be uncivilized. Splinters! Oh, bother.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Let us fight like gentlemen.
An ally has been slain.
Lucky this. You sneaky little fellow.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Oh, bother. Let us fight like gentlemen. Aha! What? Aha! You, sir, are a coward and a ruffian. I'll bite your legs off. Yes, good sir.
An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Pip pip, cheerio.
Shut down. An enemy has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed. Your team has destroyed a turret.
Anyone for a spot of tea?
Killing spree.
Destiny. I challenge you to a duel.
An enemy has been slain.
Anything less becomes civilized.
An enemy has been slain.
What?
Banish the shadows.
Let us fight like gentlemen. Anyone for a spot of tea? Cheerio. Yes, good sir. Anything less would be uncivilized. You go. Oh, bother.
Enemy has been slain. Killing spree. An enemy has been slain. Your team has destroyed.
You cheeky little fellow.
Double kill.
Lucky them.
Let us fight like gentlemen. What?
Shut down. An enemy has been slain.
Cheerio.
An enemy has been slain.
Anyone for a spot of tea? Anything less would be uncivilized. Yes, good sir.
An enemy has been slain.
Oh, bother.
Còn 10 phút.
Let us fight like gentlemen. sir, are a coward and a ruffian. Nom, 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 nom. You go. I'll bite your legs off. Aha! Anything less would be uncivilized.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Oh, bother.
Shine bright! By the light!
Anyone respond?
An enemy has been slain.
You go.
An ally has been slain.
I like a man who grins when he fights.
Your turret has been destroyed.
What? Let us fight like gentlemen. Yes, good sir.
Destroyed. An ally has been slain.
Let us fight like gentlemen.
Còn 5 phút.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
Oh, bother. Anything less would be uncivilized. Aha! Yes, good sir.
An enemy has been slain. Our bond burns. Double kill.
Còn 3 phút.
Pip pip, cheerio. One can survive everything nowadays, except death.
An enemy has been slain.
Aha! Oh, bother. Take or death.
You have been slain.
Anyone for a small tea?
Enemy has been slain.
Would it help if I apologize?
I challenge you to a duel. I like a man who brings when he fights.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor. Has destroyed a turret. Has destroyed a turret. Victory!
Shake it up a little bit.
It's always weird because obviously, with full hindsight, the hook was going to miss, so why would you flash, lol, bang? You understand that, but when you're already winning, where your AD carry getting picked could lead to Cho'Gath nomming on a Baron or something like that, safety first is what the line he chose, and he looks silly for it, but you kind of understand with where the series is at why he did it.
Well, no, second turret here for Afreeca Freaks will be claimed in the mid lane. Nicely done by them, and they just keep things within about 1,000 gold. SKT have not been able to stretch that lead that they established very early on into this game.
Emergency Rift Herald usage is used by Cho'Gath literally in base.
Has to walk all the way up the lane. What a jerk. Didn't give it a lift.
At least he doesn't have a timeout function. It's all about the HP as the Rift Herald, so didn't get an Uber this timeout when it comes to being placed exactly where they wanted it to go. But Marin had to rush bot lane. Righteous Glory pops it, but Antara's going to take the turret for free.
Yeah. He's got the Ravenous Hydra. He's in a very nice spot as far as the damage is concerned. Tankiness leaves a bit to be desired, has just the Spectre's Cowl, no single cloth armor. But Rift Herald should be knocking down this turret. Faker is there to try to stop this one. See how much he can do. And it turns out he does a lot.
Yep. That is a free-farmed and fed Cassiopeia, who had a lot of advance warning, Achilles, because the Rift Herald walked the longest possible route to the top side. Has the Morellonomicon to complement the early tankiness we spoke about at length with the Abyssal Mask.
There we go. Spirit Visage for Antara.
And this is one of those builds. We see it quite often, the Rod of Ages into... Oh, hold that thought.
Going to get jumped on. That's going to be the hook coming through, and he just gets deleted. Kramer finds his third kill of the game. 3-0-2 on the Caitlyn, now looking to knock down that inner and mid.
The overly defensive flash didn't go QSS a second item, went for the Zeal to do damage and is taken down. Trying to power down the turret, teleport to confirm it.
Yeah, Death Sentence not going to connect here, but it seems like they will just be able to knock this one down. Marin TPing in for added protection here for the rest of his squad. And they'll just go ahead and claim that first inner turret of the game.
And a moment like that is where I will actually say, bang, if you're going to flash defensively, you have to position defensively. So getting caught after using your flash so liberally is where you have to say, okay, mistake from Bang. They've lost significance from this. It goes back and buys the Hurricane. Still doesn't have QSS. And the ultimates are there. The chain CC there is there from Afreeca. Pick up their first Drake of the game.
But look at this, SKT. Not skipping a beat. There's
no
and
Afreeca don't know yet.
They're just going to go ahead and try to duo this one out.
See blue pings in the area. They now know.
Bang coming nearby.
They might be too late, though.
I mean, he's running into the mid lane. I don't think they suspect this one, but Peanut is going dangerously low, so this is still going to be risky.
They know it now. 2,700 health.
And they'll be pushing forward. Less than 2,000. Can they get in there, though? The knockaway will come through. Spirit flashes way too late. They try to get the steal in the meantime. Bang, yet again, gets annihilated. Spirit will make it out with his life, but the remaining members of SKT now have the Baron.
Miasma positioning could never have been more important. He couldn't flash because he was grounded, Achilles. Couldn't actually get into the pit, so by the time he flashed, it looks comical. They lose the Baron, and really nice sneak from SKT after they lost Bang, who dies second gray screen in about 2 minutes.
That's what I'm laughing about. It's just poor Bang at this point. 1-4-2. On this Kalista. He shows back up. He's like, guys, I'm here to help. Immediately gets deleted.
He did his role. His role was to distract Achilles. You know, he gets paid a nice salary. He's a double world champion. Maybe his scoreline won't be great this game, but if they win, he's still doing his role.
Well, SKT Let's see how they can utilize this one as they do lose yet another turret.
Wolf's poking around here. They don't know he's in there. This is another one of those moments where Raptors respawned as he was looking for a hook. Marin's felt that before.
Just run away, Bang. Just get out of there.
Bang really wishes he went that QSS second item.
He's almost there. He's got the Null Magic Mantle. He's working his way.
It's been a struggle for Bang, but Faker's had another one of those games where someone gave him a personal basketball and he got to decide everything on his own. While it isn't the Rod of Ages, starting with the Abyssal Mask and now having Morellonomicon and also the completed Seraphs is basically tank Cassiopeia. A lot of CC to respect, but he pops the Cleanse, he pops the Overshield, already has significant health and magic resist. This is one team fight Cassiopeia. Happy to stay in the team fights.
Yeah, I mean, he's just solo knocking down that turret. It's dangerously low, and because of that pressure, draws them over. Hook coming down, connects in onto Spirit, and the Rend will not find the kill. It's actually going to be Wolf that comes up with it, so Bang really just can't catch a break. Rolls out the Fate's Call. Won't be throwing Wolf back forward, however.
Kramer's on defensive wave clear duty now, Achilles. He's not taking pot shots at inner turrets anymore. Trundle's going to return to the top side. This is exactly where SKT want to be. Faker doesn't have Ghosts, so he does have to poke around and get the Qs in.
Still going to be the Righteous Glory, but the Petrifying Gaze comes down into the Death Sentence, and Faker should be falling. It's a massive shield coming through from the Seraphs, but he will fall in the end.
Meanwhile, is the sub-story, though. Trundle will just take the turret in top side, so Faker goes down, ruins his KDA, but they still get the objective trade up to SK Telecom T1.
I mean, for every turret, a sacrifice, apparently, here. So just throw a kill, you'll get an objective. SKT now created a pretty significant gold lead here for themselves. Very much like we saw in Game 1, where it was neck and neck throughout. They were hovering around 800 to 1,000. Now going to be 3.3 ahead. So still not the position they'd like to be in. They want that number to be much larger, but they've finally been able to put these turrets onto the board.
The difference from Game 1 is that the gold lead was all in the Janna in Game 1, where it's a much more balanced gold distribution here.
That is
For
true.
Afreeca, they may be behind in gold, but they don't have one member really warping the statistic like Janna was in Game 1. Kramer has 3 items. Kramer is very, very powerful single target at the moment on the Caitlyn, but doesn't mean much when SKT just want to run them around the map. They're not rushing for team fights. They already got the Baron, that's off the map. Put Trundle on the top side, and just try to play 4v4.
Blue buff looking to get taken away here. Faker fires over the wall. Just be taken out.
Afreeca has so many control wards behind them. They want to play this as narrow as possible. Plot 5 traps into a lane, push up, try to remove the fact that Trundle has no worries whatsoever about a Cho'Gath. One item with just a Tiamat into Ravenous Hydra, there's kill pressure, but Randuin's is complete, Spirit Visage is complete, Trundle is immovable, and even the decent wave clear from the Cho'Gath isn't going to be enough to slow him down. Speaking of that, Trundle.
Looking for Spirit, throws on the pillar, but they are there. You go ahead and pop him back, Explosive Cast into the hook, he tries to flash away, but the uppercut is there from the Blitzcrank. He takes quite a bit of damage, but Spirit will be able to get out with his life. Will not be able to assist the defense of this turret at the moment, as SKT looks to clear out the wave, but with Marin pinching in from below.
Hasn't been spotted yet, is Marin.
They will have to go ahead and start to peel back. They know that he's missing, so they know that he's somewhere in this vicinity.
Yeah, last known movements certainly available, but not exact positioning. Hook attempted onto the red buff, but is stolen away by the Syndra W.
Nicely timed there by Kuro. Snatches that one up. So SKT not going to be able to break that turret in the mid lane. Does delay them just a little bit here.
Afreeca want to find a way to recreate tempo. They lost all the control wards they were defending a moment ago when SKT pushed up. Need to shop and get them down again, because no longer can they just have Caitlyn trade up in turrets across the map. Baron respawning in 1:45. Drake in just about 15 seconds. But they desperately need as much advanced information on the positioning of Wolf especially, and hell, even a teleport ward for the Trundle pillar. And right now, Afreeca doesn't have that information.
Playing into the river right now is Afreeca. Vision now going to start pushing forward. Minion wave here to block out the death sentences. Hook comes through. They find Marin, but is that the target that they wanted? It seems like the answer is going to be yes, because he's completely locked up, and the Ren will help take him down yet again as Zendara finds the killing blow. Spirit, without his flash, will die as Bang finally finds the kill for himself. And with those two openings, SKT can just push straight down the mid lane.
And when you have a Cassiopeia this big, you can fight front to back as if you have a Caitlyn. Doesn't matter that it's the Kalista, because they're happy to take down the closest target. And consider what Thresh, Syndra, and Caitlyn did while they watched Sejuani and Cho'Gath's health bars disappear. They could do nothing because their front line wasn't actually fighting in range of them. Blitzcrank is removing them from actually being in a position of peel or engage for their carries. Carries do nothing. Carries from SKT are tanky enough and advanced enough with no threat on them to take down the front two members. It's going to be another Drake for free, more map control for free, and Afreeca, their slim chances of advancing are almost extinguished.
Not looking good for these guys. Gold lead growing even larger for SK Telecom. Now a third Drake rather added to the mix, second Cloud Drake for them as we go ahead and get a replay of this.
So how these fights are supposed to work is that Marin and Sejuani with their large models and CC are putting some threat onto Cassiopeia and Kalista. It starts off with Sejuani doing a bit of damage, but Cho'Gath literally dies for free. The carries, they're not even on the screen. OGN can't fit them on the screen without some zoom hacks because they don't have any ability to walk forward, the Syndra and the Caitlyn especially. And it could have been a zero-item Caitlyn and it would have been the same fight, sadly, Achilles, because there was no space for Kramer to do damage.
Well, fortunately for Afreeca, the slight reprieve is that the Baron was not available off the back of that fight, so now they have a chance to go ahead and try to defend this, as they already have vision control over the area. It's going to go ahead and gets jumped on by Spirit, who has to hightail it out of there with the Dark Passage.
You gotta love this new comp that we're seeing. The Blitzcrank and Trundle synergy is so weird because you hook someone, put a pillar behind the hook, and then you're denying most chokes from actually being able to defend even a tanky member, because the Trundle pillar lasts so damn long, Achilles, that you're even going to kill a super tank like a Cho'Gath or a Sejuani.
Starting this one up, SKT are nearby. Faker in the top lane. Get called in at a moment's notice as the wards go over the wall. Control ward will deny the vision, but it does draw enough pressure to stop that Baron from being taken, so Afreeca just have to go ahead and split.
Running in different directions while Faker, I continue the analogy, he's playing his own game of basketball, playing single-player League of Legends. Remember him doing this 2 years ago when I joined the LCK on Victor, taking over games. He's doing it now on the Cassiopeia. Look at what Afreeca's vision is. They have no information. This is against the Blitzcrank comp. Hook goes wide, but the next one's likely to hit.
Do go ahead and have to give up this position as the wave is being pushed in to the mid side here by Afreeca Freaks. They can't go much further than this, near that tier 1 turret.
They have
or SK Telecom.
This got no information. You know, the waves aren't really giving them information. Bot lane is equalized, the top lane pushing heavily into them. Goro wants to steal the blue, but he can't. He doesn't have the ability to go in that far. In SKT, they can rush down mid, they can reform around the Baron. SKT have a wealth of options.
And it's just a matter of both of these teams going fishing at the moment.
One team's a lot better at fishing. Blitzcrank is the ultimate fisherman. Fizz, apologies, it's all about the Blitzcrank.
Yeah, man, when Thresh fishes, he kind of has to like dive into the water in the end to actually get the fish.
Trying to rush down Baron, but the hook comes in on Sejuani.
Lands in on a Spirit Fate call, is drawn out. They're going to be looking for the catch here onto Tucson, who does go low, drops the box. The Glacial Prison will not really connect. Tucson's still alive, but Bang, right at the last second there with the Pierce, will take him down. And now SKT say, screw it, we'll just go straight in for this inhib turret in the top lane.
Yeah, they got a pick that allowed them to ride into a massive minion wave, and Afreeca can't get there fast enough.
Faker trying to cut them off, throws down the miasma to slow them up, and you can see already the Twin Fangs just chunking through that Cho'Gath. No matter how tanky he is, Faker has that much more damage now, looking for the pick. Gonna go wide as they dodge out onto these traps, but that will be the inhibitor line being broken. 33.5 minutes by SK Telecom.
First inhibitor of the game, not 3 like we saw around this time in game 1, but somehow it's been so much more comfortable for SKT. Minion wave for Afreeca will push in and likely get this inner turret that Caitlyn worked over earlier, but they go back, multiple members, around 2,000 gold to spend. And Afreeca return to the same problem where, you know, they're pretty confident that the enemy recalled. They're not 100% confident how many members did. And they have so little tempo on the map or wards that all they really can do is say, SKT, come to us, because we don't know where you are.
Gonna be looking to start this one up. Tar's in the bottom lane, has the TP, he's gonna pop it immediately as they try to arrive. Baron going low, halfway dead. Control ward in the pit. Peanut has perfect vision over this one. Comes over the wall and he takes it right out of their grasp. Peanut sealing away the Baron, and now Afreeca Freaks desperately are trying to run away, but it seems like they're not going to have the option because Baker has him cornered. He's got him roped in to the blue pit. Comes up with a double kill, getting rid of Kuro, getting rid of Kramer, and it might just be the Ace Spirit all on his lonesome, is desperately trying to trade one back, but Bang says hell no, rends him for the double kill, and that should be the end of the game.
Afreeca Freaks, their 8th game in the wildcard, their 8th loss in a row. Peanut smiles. Smite came in early. There's that cast animation on the feast from the Cho'Gath. Wasn't able to get it in. Peanut has got those steals before. SK Telecom break the hearts of the Afreeca Freaks, and they will face Samsung in just a few days' time.
A lot of preparation to be done for that matchup, but for now, SK Telecom can revel and bask in this victory for themselves, taking down Afreeca Freaks, their biggest rival in 2017, possibly close to all time given the record by Afreeca. But they come up with the victory, they advance past the wild card, they are into the full-blown playoffs now.
And now you have to deal with best of 5 SK Telecom T1. Not even the best of 3. Their lowest finish ever in LCK history was this 4th spot. Even their famous spring season last year was 3rd and allowed them to begin in the best of 5 phase. They jump into the best of 3, and in game 2 especially, the firing squad was enabled. Afreeca had nowhere to go. They said, well, we don't know where the enemy is. We'll bring them to Baron. They had the Cho'Gath for the secure, but even that messed up Achilleosin. Honestly, when I saw Peanut behind, I didn't need to know what champions Afreeca had. It just made so much